Good morning and happy Sunday, everybody. This is my Clearing the Bases weekly, every Sunday episode where I cover off all of my Twitter bookmarks and open browser tabs that I felt were really interesting, but didn't quite make the cut for their own videos. These are just hobby things. It doesn't have to be baseball cards. It could be, they're all over the place usually. This one is heavy on the Tom Brady card this week, a card that I have zero interest in ever owning, but there was just a lot of interesting stuff that happened with it in the last week. So hopefully you find it interesting as well. We're actually going to start at the top with the Tom Brady stuff, and then all the other stuff is after. If you are not interested in the Tom Brady stuff, feel free to just fast forward through probably till about halfway into the video. Before I get started on the Tom Brady stuff, though, I saw this. Let me share my screen. That might help. Imagine if I'd gone the entire video without having shared my screen. I haven't read this yet. This is Inside Fanatics' wild bet to become the Amazon of sports. Uh, ooh, I don't. That doesn't sound good to me. But yeah. All right, here we go. First of all, the actual first official Tom Brady baseball card, sort of, back in 2014, Topps did a five-star autograph rainbow parallel of Tom Brady in their five-star baseball set, and they just never produced them. So these redemptions are still out there. 9 years later, these redemptions have still gone unfulfilled. So it's interesting. Um, they did this. They also had Elway and Marino on that checklist. Yeah, but then the cards started getting pulled. Here's the superfractor, one of one uh, autograph. It's kind of blurry. And then this Bill Belichick card that says Tom can hit, but can he throw? Signed by Bill Belichick. The inscription. I've seen a bunch of them. It looks like he forgot the R in throw, a bunch of them, and then in most of them he just kind of added it in at the last second. So, this is a lot of people after, and I'm not going to show all of these tweets, of course, but a lot of hobbyists, a lot of collectors started getting fed up with what is a gimmick. I thought it was pretty fun. It's not something I would be interested in. I certainly wouldn't chase it, but it was fun. The commercial, if you saw the commercial was really good. But a lot of people got really, really upset about it, and we'll get into that a little bit. Um, and then, so this guy, JB at Old Town Cards, I don't know anything about this guy, but he has some pretty good tweets about this. He said, "The past 2 days from Topps makes me want to get out of sports cards completely." And there's the Belichick. Uh, this was part of the commercial, I guess, or part of the ad campaign. This doesn't even look like Brady. Brady's way skinnier than this. $750 for a super jumbo box. Is that a lot? Seems like a lot to me. So JB Old Town Cards writes this long tweet to Michael Rubin saying, instead of gimmicks that bring football players into baseball, here's what I recommend. And he says that he really liked the one of one rookie debut patch. I did too. I also liked those milestones patches, which he hadn't heard about. I think that's down here. Yeah. Yeah. Here's the milestone with the base on it from that milestone. So he says, do more of those. He says, you're focused on gimmicks, but gimmicks don't scale. They're flashes in the pan that are going to fade. Yeah. uh, I agree 100%. The Tom Brady stuff is going to sell like crazy, and we'll get into that. And then it's just going to go down, in my opinion. Why would it go up? And then Jeff Wilson. Jeff writes, the massive blowback on this app about Topps Tom Brady Bowman campaign has stunned me. And then he says, which option do you choose? And he gives three options, leaving out some pretty important ones. Go back to the days of no marketing by Topps, or print more boxes, many more boxes, so there's a ton of supply to keep box prices down, or continue on the current path to grow the hobby and attract new collectors. I think that there's a another option, which is you can do marketing, but you don't need to do gimmicky things. You can do cool things with current athletes that I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what the answer is here. I'm curious what you think about all of this, but I feel like Jeff made it seem like there are only three options when there are there's more than that. And then, of course, Jeff got a ton of criticism because that's what happens when Jeff tweets anything. Uh, and then JB, Old Town Cards, writes, "You literally commented on his post, JB, where there are dozens of recommendations from other collectors. And instead, you post three options that are the equivalent of you stomping your feet, that more people aren't applauding a gimmicky Tom Brady card." And Jeff Wilson is an industry guy. You know, he's not going to say anything negative about tops or fanatics. So then he gets a ton of criticism and he writes, "I want to be clear. I don't think the Brady Bowman cards are good investments. They will fall in price." That's not the criticism that anybody had whatsoever. "But I don't understand the negativity around the marketing effort and the card itself, which clearly generated a ton of buzz. I recognize collectors' concerns about the price of Bowman draft boxes. They are high, but that's an issue of supply and demand. Tops can force prices lower by printing more, but do collectors really want that?" Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yes. And then, so up here, well, let's go back here. "I don't think the Brady Bowman cards are good investments. They will fall in price." But he's rooting for that. And he's rooting for the people who buy them to see losses in their investments. I don't know. It just seems odd to me. So let's take a look at some of these Brady Bowman cards. Here's the original. This was a big deal was made of this. The original Tom Brady rookie, 2000 Bowman Chrome Tom Brady football rookie, just sold raw for $630. People made a big deal out of this. And then, like the other cards, the new ones selling for $1,000, 1850, 2150 for a PSA 10 already, which is crazy. 1250. This one sold for it was $5,000, but best offer accepted. 2500, 1200, 1100, 800. And people are saying, "Well, his actual rookie card sells for a lot less." Yeah, it's true. But I think, and I'm no football expert, but I think this card is faked a lot, counterfeited. I know that the um, refractor one is right. Somebody let me know. So I think there was a some sort of a fake grading company that was putting counterfeit refractors in their slabs, calling them real. So here's the orange refractor auto number 25, currently bidding at $15,100. Here's another one currently bidding at $23,100 that ends later on tonight. And here's the number to 50, currently bidding at $15,400, ends tonight. Now, it's possible. Oh, here's one that just sold for 18,000. It is possible that people are getting these at a good price right now because a lot of people think it's a gimmick and they end up a year from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, when Brady goes into the Hall of Fame, or I guess less than 5 years, they end up being worth a lot more. I don't think so, though. This person put eBay one of one, LOL. Just kidding, but sweet card. Ugh, don't do that. Here's another one that sold about the same amount. It was 25,000, best offer accepted, probably about 18,000 is my guess. A collector just pulled all of these ultra rare case hits out of a single box. These cards are worth about $5,000 in total and were all pulled from a $200 box of Topps Merlin Chrome. The odds are supposed to be just one in every 283 boxes, making the odds of pulling five in one box less than 1.1 in 1.8 quadrillion. I didn't check the math here. It could be right. And then Eric Whiteback, which is a fake name, by the way. You got to imagine that there's either a collation issue or the Tops was having fun making some hot boxes. It, yeah, that the latter is probably the more likely. That Tops thought it would be cool to make a hot box, but I think that's terrible for the hobby. If you're putting them in one box, again, it's marketing. You get publicity like this. People are talking about it, but some people lose out. And then this tweet underneath, this stuff hurts. Stuff like this hurts the industry. That's right. And then I think Topps is turning into Willy Wonka with the golden ticket hunt. They're making these hot boxes, and it creates a frenzy to buy their product. Yeah, yeah. It's uh, not a fan. I'm not a soccer guy. Sorry, football. Whatever country you're in, football. Lionel Messi, 2022 World Cup jersey set, 6 jerseys, sold for $7.8 million. It's the highest sports memorabilia auction listing this year. Uh, yeah, and a record for any Messi item. And then Topps is selling event-worn shirt and hat relic cards from Juan Soto's Zoom press conference. The shirt cards sell for $90. The hat cards sell for $350. Here's the shirt. Here's the hat from a Zoom press conference. The hat card sold out in under 30 minutes of being up for sale. American Caramel, Joe Jackson rookie from 115 years ago, sold for $108,000 in Robert Edward auctions. I always struggle to. I think the when it's Robert and then Edward, I always want to say Robert Edwards auctions. I have to remind myself it's Robert Edward. And then this mantle PSA 5 sold for 168. Some big boy cards. I had never seen this before. This was 2021. Panini did these George Costanza cards, and I am a massive Seinfeld fan. And they put this patch in, saying this was supposed to be a Jason Alexander worn outfit or something like that. But Jason Alexander warned his fans, "I have no knowledge of any of this, so proceed with pure caveat emptor," which of course means buyer beware. Uh, yeah, I hadn't seen that. I thought that was kind of fun. First 7 copies sold for over $1,000. Here's another Robert Edward. 1954 Topps Ernie Banks SGC 9 sold for just over $100,000. What a nice card. Looks great in the SGC slab. Golf. Actually, sorry, this is track and field. Babe Diedrichson did both, of course. Uh, these are the actual cleats worn by Babe Diedrichson when she won 2 gold medals and 1 silver medal in track and field in the 1932 Olympics. It's pretty neat. Actually, I didn't even open the auction. Let's see if the bidding has started. Current bid at 6,134 ends tonight. Very cool. I did a paper on Babe Diedrichson when I was a kid. We have a Cal Ripken Jr. Let's see if we can get this to stop. Check. This was one of his final checks from when he played in the minor leagues, July 15th, 1981, for $733.14. Very cool. Signed by, Cal Ripken. That's what we were looking at before. There it is right there. Calvin E. Ripken Jr. Uh, Winning bid $52,361 for a ball used by Tiger Woods in his first ever PGA Tour event, the 1992 Nissan Open at Riviera. That's pretty neat. And then just a little relic from my childhood, Doom. Actually, I was a big Doom 2 player. The original Doom was released for DOS 30 years ago this past week. What a classic. I would love to get Doom 2, the original, for PC. And then Mario Alejandro, one of my favorite tweeters about the hobby, Twitterers, I don't know, said stickers aren't the problem. And he shows that this Derek Jeter autograph card was actually autographed by the one and only Calvin E. Ripken Jr. And so Mario is saying stickers aren't the problem. And I strongly disagree. Just because you have one on card auto that was signed incorrectly doesn't mean that stickers aren't the problem. But then somebody says, oh, hey, here's this Cal Ripken card that was signed by Jeter. Same card, same set. So it seems like it was probably intentional by Topps. Another one of these Topps gimmicks. Let's switch these Legends autographs. That's my guess anyway. What do you guys think? And then, so Eric Whiteback, the collectibles guru again, always does this. This card was pulled and is worth, and he provides an estimate. And he's explained how he gets his estimates before, but this person had a really interesting tweet, I felt. You, as a very public figure giving monetary valuations of people's big pulls, does nothing but hurt the potential seller. It either gives them unrealistic expectations or could limit buyer bids. I thought that was really interesting, but then I got thinking about it, and auction houses provide estimates. They'll say estimate $10,000 to $20,000. That doesn't mean that the seller can't sell it for more than 20,000. It doesn't mean that the buyer. Ultimately, it's up to buyers. At first I thought, oh, this is a good point, but then I realized it's really not. Ali Rutschman's Superfractor 1 of 1 has been pulled, and they're doing a play on Eric Whiteback. Its value is believed to be around 437 carne asada burritos. I just thought that was funny. Rally, not a company I would support. I think they're like a card investment company. It says assets to appreciate, but they had a good tweet the other day. In 2003, Donruss paid $250,000 for a 1925 Ruth Yankees home jersey, believed only one of 3 pinstriped examples in the world. Then Donruss cut the jersey up into 2,100 pieces and inserted 1 by 1 inch swatches into cards. People were outraged. Yeah, I mean, sure. I 1 of 1 card from the set, including fabric from the jersey, which sold for $103,000. Yeah, and also a cut autograph. Good tweet. And then this person's saying that PSA will do nothing if 2 items have the same PSA number. And the difference is that one of them is the PSA card and one of them is a PSA DNA autograph. And so they have 2 different searches for these. So if you go to PSA cert lookup, you can see if you do a cert lookup in the wrong box, you might see the wrong card. So if you're looking up for an autographed cert and you type it into the card cert, you won't get the autograph that you're looking for. It's very confusing, very poorly done by PSA. And here's PSA's response, which is basically just explaining you'll have the option of selecting to see which item associated with that cert that you're looking for, whether it was issued by PSA or PSA DNA. That's not great, PSA. Yeah, so I guess this card was trimmed. Look at this, ending in 2144, ending in 2144. So they deactivated this cert when they found out it was trimmed and then recycled it for this Michael Jordan. Let's end this on a funny note. This person on eBay messaged, I assume this is eBay, messaged this person saying they're interested in the Ivan at $5. And so the seller says, okay, I'll change the price on the card to $5. I just relisted it. And the buyer says, LOL, did you lower the price to $5 while increasing the shipping cost by $3? The seller says, sorry, but if I drop the price, I would have to raise the shipping because I would be out money on the card. Well, you haven't actually reduced the price if you increase your shipping cost or the buyer shipping cost. Hilarious. Uh, I'll give you some bonus cards with your purchase. Uh, it's funny. It's good stuff. I love this stuff. All right, guys, let me know what you think about everything on here, and I'll be back probably Tuesday, although I have a PSA DNA order coming back supposedly tomorrow, which I would have to do an emergency video for because I'm very excited. It's been 5 months since I dropped them off at the National. All right. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon.